some of you, you told yourself, I must leave Nigeria by all means. You left. Now you are abroad. You say, I want to come back to Nigeria because what you are seeing is not what you expect. And of course, it's no wonder why you want to come back to the country. You've gone over there, you've realized that there's really no place like home. You'd always be treated like a second-class citizen. I mean, you're in a white man's land. They're seeing you as though you are inferior. So I totally understand. You are lonely. There is no community support like that you had in Nigeria. You're a woman, you're looking for a man, you realize that men are scarce over there. And so all of these factors, couple of them cumulatively, has led to the decision that I want to come back home. But how do I? There is shame. There is a financial burden. There are a lot of things that I can't just face. So how do I? Japada. I have prepared everything to guide you from a mental perspective to an emotional to even a financial perspective to prepare your Japada. So stay tuned for the next couple of minutes and this would best serve you. Hello, my name is Victor Akan and I would like to welcome you to my Breath of Hope podcast. Now in here, we do amazing stuff, amazing content. And in this whole series, we are going to be helping those who are abroad trying to Japada and other content for those who choose to remain and how to navigate their life abroad. Now, we have amazing contents that we churn out week in, week out. These are contents that bring you life, that bring you hope, that help you navigate your way through the difficulties of life. And so, if you want to keep seeing my face, my beautiful face, all you have to do is subscribe to my YouTube channel, okay? And as you're watching this video, don't forget to like, comment, just so the YouTube algorithm works in my favor for you, how to plan your Japada. But before we talk about you planning your Japada, let us first speak about why you want to come back. Why? Because some people will be watching this and like, what do you mean come back? Me, if I leave this place, there is nothing on earth that will make me want to come back. Some people will say, who leaves Egypt, goes to the promised land and say they want to come back to Egypt? Well, not every promised land is actually a promised land, okay? The promised land was only for the people of Israel, not for anybody else. That's the point. The point is that not everyone is meant to be in a certain place. For some people, they realize that their lives are better served elsewhere. Some people have had unmet expectations. And these are some of the examples of people who have had unmet expectations, okay? You have a case whereby a person leaves the country. This person is a very social person, social butterfly, and all of those things, he loves to hang out, believes in community. Now the person goes abroad, has no access to any close relative, isn't part of any community. All he does is walk like a bird, moves from point A to point B. Some people are doing care jobs, okay? And in a case like that, you're doing 9 to 5. Sometimes you have to work more than 12 hours, more than 18 hours just so you can pay the bills. And you don't really have time to recharge, socially. It feels like you are lonely. You're a lady, you are in Nigeria. You were in Nigeria, you were getting lots of toasters. Now you're abroad, nobody really cares about you. Nobody tells you, oh, you look so beautiful. And so you feel like, what's happening? I'm just living life, just living life to pay bills. What kind of life is that? I don't have time to, enjoy myself, enjoy my money, spend time on people that I love. Nobody cares about me. I can be dead in my house for about 1 month. People we don't even really notice. And you have all of these factors in play. So for people like that, they'll notice that they begin to feel so lonely, they begin to feel so depressed. And so they just miss Nigeria. Now for some other people, it is the financial reality of things. So, for instance, in Nigeria, you can lose your job and you can tell yourself that, may I just day first for like 1 or 2 months, find my way around. What will happen highest is that when you are hungry, you can go and stay in your guy's place or in your friend's place, go and eat small, go and pet with him. If you don't have light, you can disconnect NEPA and tap direct. You can disconnect your meter and tap direct. Like, there is always a way to bypass things in Nigeria, okay? But abroad, if you don't work for like 3 to 5 days, your bills are counting against you. Your electricity is counting against you. Your food is counting against you. You literally have to work for every penny. because no one is coming to save you, whether you're a man, whether you're a woman. Now, of course, abroad, you earn, in better currency, which is a no-brainer, but you also spend, right? You spend really well. And especially if you're in a country like UK, the whole system is designed to ensure that you have little or nothing to save for yourself at the end of the day. And the idea is to keep you trapped within that labor system, whereby you're working to pay bills and nothing else. Thinking about it, you might just miss Nigeria a little while because, it's not as fast-paced, the pressure is not there. You can choose to take a break from work and you still find your way around it. But you don't have that luxury abroad. Especially if you're a father that has children, or you work, your wife must work, and you guys must work in such a way whereby you don't even have time for your spouse. Why? Because when you're on shift, your wife must be at home looking after them. When you're coming back, she must be going to work. So you have all of these dynamics to consider. And then it's almost impossible for a one-parent income to suffice for about 3 to 5 children. So bills are high, and it's a fast-paced life. Quick example, I know, had a family friend who went abroad, and while they were abroad, this man was a big man in Nigeria, working an oil company job, earning in thousands of dollars. He had to go abroad, had to start doing all of this cleaning work and all of those things. Why? Because he couldn't find a job. And you could not now say that, I used to be oil company, but nobody cares about that. Carry your broom, carry your packer, carry your mop, and clean up the place if you want to get paid. So, of course, seeing that, he had such a high financial demand, okay, he had to do some of these things, it still led to what? Him feeling depressed, him feeling sad, him being filled with regrets. Another point is the disconnection from home. Now, what does this mean? Say what you want about Nigeria, talk about how corrupt Nigeria is, talk about how unsafe Nigeria is, talk about all of these things. The moment you leave the country and you go to elsewhere, the number one thing that will make you miss home is culture shock. So for instance, you go abroad, you're like in your 30s, your 40s, you now meet one 6-year-old calling you by your first name. You'll be like, yeah? But in Nigeria, they will call you uncle. If you're back, they'll even bow to greet you. But abroad, nobody really cares. The way you take certain things, seriously, the way Nigerian weddings, all of these things, right? So culture shock alone, even the kind of food that you eat, which isn't really culture shock because you expect it, right? But even the kind of food, lifestyle, culture shock, all of these things, they contribute. And then when you are, in the abroad, you're always thinking about how your family, how they are doing certain things, how they are eating certain kinds of food and all of those things. And you just end up missing, these things. If you're a man abroad, you realize that you're more of an endangered species. Why? Because you have less power abroad. And so you might not begin to miss how you were wooing some of the women and how you could throw miserable 20,000, 30,000 in the woman's front in Nigeria, but abroad, everybody has to work. So it's harder for you to impress with your money. Different perspectives to it. So different reasons why you might miss the country. It can even be from a perspective whereby you have to miss a lot of family engagements. So for instance, your sister just got married, but you don't have flight ticket, or you're saving your money so you cannot really go back to go for a wedding. Your father just died, and you can't go for the burial. Why? Because of funds and things like that, especially if you stay in a place like Australia. So all of these things would make you just want to miss home and come back. Now, one last reason why people want to come back is because of the feeling of being a second-class citizen. Again, there is no place like home. So this means that from time to time, as a black person, you might experience racism or a resemblance of it. So sometimes it might not even be the fact that somebody is being racist towards you. It might not be the fact that they don't like you, but because it's a white man, you feel like it is racism sometimes, right? Sometimes it's actually an issue of racism. But the general feeling that you get is that you're a second-class citizen, you're not wanted there. Think about the fact that you're in America and all of these things is happening with Trump, and you begin to feel that, these people don't really want me, assuming that you live there, and things like that. So you have all of these issues going on. The truth is that there is nobody that will accept you like your family, nobody that will call you your own like your family, and there will never be a place like home. I remember when I had to go and school in Ghana, that is in West Africa, our backyard. I never really felt like this was a place I could call my own. I always felt like an outsider. Not to talk of going to a foreign land where, they are predominantly Caucasian and culture is completely different and all of those things. And so when you meet all of these instances, one or more of these instances, you'd realize that the dream faraway land that you thought could be your home just led to unmet expectations. And because of that, the next reaction is that you want to come back home. Why? Because there is just no place like home. Especially if you have the money to ensure that most of the bad things that happen with Nigeria, like electricity, like insecurity and all of those things, is not your portion. That means you have a way around all of those things. And so we move to some of the reasons why you don't want to come back. That's some of the fear factors, some of the psychological barriers and emotional turmoil that makes you not want to return. Number one, the fact that people will think that you're a failure, and so you're ashamed about that. And what it just looks like is very simple, as I just stated. This just simply means that you don't want to come back because you don't want people to feel like, oh, this guy feels so. And there's this thing that we hold as Africans or Nigerians where, the idea of going abroad is the fact that you are going to make it. And so the only reason why you come back is because you failed to make it. And so people a lot of times don't want to feel that way. Because if somebody comes back from Nigeria, comes back from abroad, everybody will be like, the guy don't come back. Oh, it'll be like saying it's no work out for him. So people are scared of people seeing them less coming back. And this is just my answer. My answer is very simple to a psychological barrier such as that. You are not in life to please anybody. You are in life to run your own race. It's okay for people to laugh. There's nothing you can do about that. But as long as this is a decision that you are sure that you should be making, then make it. Don't live your life caring about people and what they will think and what they will say when, if you're to die now, in a week or two time, people have moved on with their lives. So do not build the years of your future for people who would forget you in 2 weeks of their own lifetime. So live your life. Forget the shame. See, you cannot shame a shameless man, so be shameless. Another thing to expect when you're coming back, besides the fact that people will look at you less and all of those things, is understand that you are coming back to a system that doesn't work. So for instance, electricity, something as basic as electricity, infrastructure and all of those things, healthcare, understand that I am truly coming back. And so I understand some of the disadvantages with coming back, as I just mentioned, electricity, healthcare, which is security and all of these other things. So have it in mind that that's what's going to happen. Another thing is that when you come back, people are going to have high expectations of you. People are going to assume that you have been making loads and loads of pounds or dollars. And so there is just no way you can come back without saving all of that money. And that money is huge or must be huge enough to not just for yourself and your family, but for us also. So people are going to have high expectations of you. Again, do not live your life for anybody. They can go to hell, okay? Live your life in a way that ensures that you and your family is okay or are okay. Ensure that you are okay first and do not give in to the pressures, the expectations of people. The people can expect. It's not your obligation to fulfill the expectation. One very important thing to expect when you come back is work culture. So abroad, you can be working, they respect your 9 to 5. Once it's 5, you've packed your bag, you're leaving. Nigeria, they don't respect 9 to 5 like that. You're going to see employees who are going to encroach on your boundaries. You're going to see people who are trying to backbite and win their way to the top, ass leak, all of those things. So expect all of these things when you come back, from family to expectations from friends to poor infrastructural development, even down to workplace changes. Expect all of these things. Now, how do you prepare to come back? what are the ways you prepare to come back to Nigeria? Number one, there is what you call the emotional preparation and the financial preparation. Now, the emotional preparation is part of what I just spoke about, what you expect. So for everything that you expect, build or fortify yourself with a solution. So for instance, now, the feeling of shame, as I spoke about earlier, you have to fortify yourself, okay? Fortify yourself when you feel like you are ashamed of coming back, or people try to reinforce that shame in you. Ask yourself, why did I really come back? Was it valid enough? Was it justified? If yes, every other person can go to hell. That's what I say, and I insist on it. Secondly, you're going to have to face the fear of the unknown. Now, what this simply means is you ask yourself, when next from here, and all of those things. See, the same way you were able to face the fear of the unknown in a strange land, and you came back alive, means that you can navigate that same fear of the unknown in your own country. It's actually not a bigger challenge, it's actually a smaller challenge, right? Because you are now in a familiar territory. So always have that at the back of your mind, okay? And it's also very important to have a support group, right? Just a personal support group. Now, I say support group, I mean a couple of you guys who have come back, trying to help yourself find your way around and things like that, just to ensure that you are mentally and emotionally fortified. Now, some of the financial plannings that you can have to ensure that you are well taken care of when you come back. Number one, if it is possible, do not come back to Nigeria jobless, except you have been deported. Don't come back jobless. Now, this means that you should start applying for jobs in Nigeria even when you are abroad. Why? Especially if you have a family, you have wife, you have children to take care of, right? You can see my savings, but the truth of the matter is that you don't know how long it is going to take until those savings, would be depleted. So what you want to do is that you want to ensure that you have a structure for continuous inflow even before you get back. Very important. So plan ahead, start applying for job opportunities, put yourself out there, get those interviews and land that job before you come back. And I hope that all of these tips that I have given you helps in planning for your Japada, that is coming back to Nigeria. Honestly, I'm so excited for you guys to come back. See you guys soon. All right. Now, if this is a podcast that has helped you, especially this episode, please subscribe, because you would most likely never see this content again. So how the YouTube algorithm works is that if they push what you love to you, how they know you love it is by you subscribing, you liking, dropping a comment, and maybe probably just sharing this. So please do that. I'll see you next week Friday. My name is Victor Akan. Bye.